Hello, everyone. What we doing this week?
Hi guys.
Okay, so you are going.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Great.
yeah.
Great, 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 great.
Actually, the same exact as we were before.
Interesting. That's very interesting.
So yeah, it is very interesting. So everybody, we got Ethernet cables to plug directly into our walls so that we would not have to deal with Wi-Fi issues and lagging and things like that, which we've been dealing with these past couple of weeks. And apparently, the Ethernet doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
um,
But
yeah.
I'm telling you, it's because, listen, you guys, it's because I'm in a predominantly black neighborhood and they don't care about us and they'll never care about us and they don't update anything. And I called the company and I said, please, like, can we get the high? They said you have the highest speed in your area. And they said maybe in 2036 we're gonna work on like getting like fiber cables.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. It's very interesting because when we lived in Chicago, like the area we were in, we had fiber. Like, is it called, like, it's like light fiber or whatever it
But
is.
we're in a white area.
We were in a white area. I was just like explaining that we had the highest of the high. It was a gig up and a gig down, which is really good speeds. And that's what my parents have here, also in a white area. But we have it for uploading videos because we're uploading videos constantly. We need the highest, like, Wi-Fi or whatever internet to do that. And he said this. The place said absolutely not.
They did say absolutely not, and I just don't know what that really means. But I also think that something's fake. Something's fake and gay, and I don't know what it is. But they're
Can you explain
lying
to them what fake it means? Because I hear you say it all the time, and they definitely don't know. They're
because
confused.
Candace Owens always going.
That's what I thought it was from
Because
her.
Candace Owens is always going. That's fake and gay, and I don't know what she means by that. Of how something is fake and gay, but she's using gay probably in like a "Don't Say Gay" Hillary Duff infomercial
Really?
ad.
I don't know. That's so weird. Candace Owens, we need to talk about her flip flop too. I haven't been up to date. There's a lot of things I feel like we have to discuss today. So this is gonna be an all over the place miscellaneous episode because we have a lot to just discuss that we've been focusing on too many things and we need to unfocus and jump around. Jump around. That's what we need to do.
That is
The first thing I want to point out is that these glasses are non-prescription.
and I'm sick of this. I'm sick of the non-prescription glasses. It's appropriating my culture.
Mhm.
I don't like when people wear glasses and they don't need them because they'll never know how hard it is to have glasses. It's raining. You can't see. It's foggy. You can't see. You have to take them off when you're laying down in the bed. You can't see. It's actually terrible. They're constantly dirty. My glasses are actually always dirty. I have to keep a glasses cleaner with me at all times. For as long as Darius has known me, I've had a glasses cleaner in my pocket, and it's
Hmm.
just terrible. And he's appropriating my culture for $13
Um,
glasses. Wow.
what did you say? What happened?
For your $13 glasses is what I
Keep
said.
it cute because these are Ray Ban. Actually, these are not. I do have a Ray Ban pair that's like this. I just don't know where they are. But anyways, I'm wearing these because they're the same frame shape as yours, and I wanted to feel connected to you.
You don't need to feel connected to me at all. I don't want to be connected to you. We're connected enough.
I
I'm
wanted to
good.
feel.
Thank you for the
I wanted to see
sentiment,
into the
though.
future
No, I
and
hate
connect with
it.
each other on our little podcast.
Mm-mm.
Um, I feel like a little bit of Harry Potter, abracadabra,
I feel like
abracadabra.
myself. My culture's not your costume.
Oh, that's
You're
what I.
telling me you feel like Harry Potter. I
Okay,
can't.
let's stop. What's really funny is ever since Malik told me that, I always think when I put on glasses that are, like that look like glasses like this, I'm like, oh, he
Yeah, you
because
should.
it is basically appropriation because I don't have to experience anything. When I get sick of it, I can take it off.
Yeah, and then
Um,
you're just fine.
but honestly, no, I think I am going to be a part of the glasses committee
Oh
in
my
3 seconds.
god.
I'm being serious. I'm gonna have to go. My vision is deteriorating, and then I'm really gonna be
Well,
feeling
that's
it. But
karma.
I don't have to, I know I'm not gonna need them constantly. It's just I'm like I'm nearsighted, so I can't really see very far because of my myopia, because of
Oh,
these
okay.
tablets and phones.
Also, this remind me. I
Anyway,
just wanted to say to everyone that this podcast is on all platforms.
it
We have
is.
audio version onlys. So for the girls who listen, for the girls who watch, and you're like, I don't want to watch, but like I'm doing something. I'm at the gym. I'm in the car. I want to listen. You can listen. For the girls that listen, you can watch when you want to watch. Just let you know, because I feel like some people didn't know that this is on wherever,
Yep, it's
anything
on
and
all
everything.
platforms. And if you are on those platforms, make sure you are liking and commenting and reviewing and doing whatever you need to do on any platform, whether it's on YouTube or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, etc., etc. because we love all the support that you guys give us. Thank you so much. And then, yeah, I think, well, that's all the housekeeping we'll do right now, I guess.
Well,
We call it housekeeping.
did you want to start? Because I have a problem that I need to talk to you about and the girls about.
A problem?
A big problem. Actually.
Okay. So you want me to, do you want to do like a lighthearted first or something? Do I have anything lighthearted?
Well,
I don't. So
okay.
First thing I talk about, I guess it is lighthearted, but I don't know. I don't know what it's gonna be. But anyways, obviously you have seen, I'm sure, because this has gone mega viral, and which is weird because I think on TikTok it's weird, like when you don't know when something has gone. Just because you saw a video doesn't mean it went mega viral, but then I found out that it did later on. Anyways, this is the all genders are black epidemic.
Yeah. Okay, I've seen that.
Okay, so what does that mean? Like, we could talk about it because I understand what they mean by it, but now it's like blown into this huge thing.
I don't know, and I don't know. Maybe I'm too woke, is what I try to ask myself every day, but I don't. This now is not the time. If this was 2008, fine. You can say that all genders are black, cute, quirky, but no, but
when
I think
Obama
that
was sworn in.
because I don't know if this is the original video, but I saw a woman. She had a very grainy camera, and I think that this was the original video, and she was like, I just want to let you guys know. And I saw this before, like, it had popped off, I think. It looked like where I sent you a video and it has like 0 comments. And it's a lady in the dark. And that's what she looked like. And she was like, I'm just letting you guys know gingers are black. Like,
yeah, that's the original video.
Okay, so I just scrolled. And I was like, I don't know what this... I was just like, I don't know what this is. I don't know what it's talking about. It had 2 comments and I liked... I was just like, this is another lazy person. So then I started hearing all these other things. And I was like, oh, what is going on? Are like people now taking this seriously? And they are, I think.
Okay, so this is what I didn't know it was. Cynthia Erivo kind of ate because I didn't know this was happening.
She said something?
No. I was saying, like, I feel like it applies that I didn't know this was happening applies in very many situations because I didn't know this was happening. But all of a sudden I go on my TikTok and now the gingers are coming back, or they're coming out rather, and they're like full throttle crying. Like, I'm feeling seen. I'm feeling heard. I have never felt heard like this in my life. They're like having tears come out of their eyes.
Are you being dead ass?
I'm being dead ass. And the reason why is because I literally looked, like right before this, I was like, let me look to see if there's some things that I want to talk about that I've been seeing on TikTok. And the first video I saw was a guy talking about how he's been ostracized his whole entire life being ginger by white people. He was like, I've always been felt othered by them. You know, this, and that, or the other, and I feel so accepted these past couple days. Like, you guys don't know how much this means to me. Black people, I love you, blah, 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 blah. And all the black people in the comments are going, we love you, gingers. We fight with you. You fight with us. We fight with you. Okay? And I can tell on this grainy screen that you're rolling your eyes. And literally, I said, oh, okay, that's very interesting. And then I clicked on like more, I don't know, I clicked on whatever the search was, and I saw so many ginger people doing that. They were crying and crying.
Crying is crazy. Oh my God.
Crying. And I said, oh, I didn't know this was happening.
I didn't either. I didn't know this was happening either. And I don't like it.
So I'm under the assumption that they feel ostracized in a certain XYZ way.
I don't care.
But listen, not in the way of black people.
But they think it is. So I don't care. I don't care.
I think they know that it's not the same. I think they know that.
I don't know.
I don't know. But I think that they know. Okay, but I just think it's interesting how they do feel like it's more of like you miss a whiskey drink, you miss a vodka drink. The Irish thing with the sinners. It's like, yes, Irish people had it like
but the whole thing was he thought that their plight was the same as his. Flashback to our Sinners Explained. And that's what they're thinking too now, and I can't do it.
Okay, well, I don't know what to tell you.
And this is crazy.
Everyone wants to be divided to the cookout, and all black people are there to accept everybody. So
and I don't know why you guys do that. I don't know why you guys do that. I don't know why you guys do that. I don't know why you guys do that.
Okay, but the original video is so weird. Like, why did she?
It's very weird. Like, I'm telling you, that is a video that I would send you and say, "What's going on?" And then you say, "I can't watch this." That's exactly what it is.
She didn't even give like an explanation. It was just like,
not at all.
I'm here to tell you guys that all genders are black. So bye. And I was like, what?
Now every black person speaks for the trees. We all speak for our whole entire race. So if one person says one thing, it all works.
Okay, well, I just went back and this is 5 million likes. Like, that's a very viral video.
What?
That's 5 million likes as of right now. That's crazy, huh? The original video does. And that's how viral it is. Because it has to have, that means it has like 20, 30 million views.
Mm-hmm.
But that's 5 million likes. And that's just crazy. And there's so many ginger people coming out the woodworks. Now, what's funny is that when I was in college, or you know Colton, obviously. In college,
Is he ginger?
that was actually probably he is. That was probably the first redheaded. So that I would have conversations with him, and he kind of told me before she said all gingers were black, that he said gingers were black. He didn't say that, but he was explaining to me the plight of being a ginger in the white community, and I didn't know this was the thing. I didn't know this was happening. But he was talking about that, and the first thing he said was that not to call them gingers, but I didn't.
What? Wait, hold on. Hold on.
He said it's equivalent to the N-word. He said you might as well say the N-word.
Are you being dead ass?
No.
Are you
No,
being
I'm
serious?
joking about that part. No. Colton is very woke. He did not say that. But he did say that it's not a preferred term.
What is the term? A redhead?
Yeah, he said redhead is better. But I've never heard any other ginger say that.
This is ruining my day.
I'm
not kidding.
This is really faking day? Oh, I think you said...
No, this is ruining my day.
Can you stop? Anyways...
I just don't know what that means. I don't know what any of that means. And do you think that you and Colton were having similar experiences?
I would say no.
Okay, great.
I would say no. But, like, we don't know what it feels like to be called a leprechaun. You know?
I don't give a damn. I know what it feels like. I know what a lot of other things feel like, though. I know what a lot of other things feel like. And I wish a leprechaun was one of the worst things I could be called. Are you kidding me?
That is really funny.
I fraternized with a ginger, as you know. As you know. One of my first fraternizations was with a ginger.
Oh, yes.
And I don't know. I didn't hear about any plight. I didn't hear about a ginger plight, and I'm glad I didn't.
I think it's really interesting. It's like when I was watching the people cry, I was like, wow, this is very... Like, they got called, like, one of the guys said he was in special ed. And so he was like, not only was I special ed, I couldn't read and write, like, at the same level, but I also was a redhead, and they, like, made fun of me for that, blah, 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 blah. And he was like, he said the amount of, like, support I felt over the past week has just changed my life. And so I'm thinking, like, wow. Like, okay. Yes, he was, like, literally red-eyed crying, and I was like, wow, like, this... And it's not that, like... Not to diminish, like, what he feels, because I'm like, wow. Like, that's almost what it is. Like, it feels so profound for him. And I'm thinking, wow, like, if he had to be black for just 30 seconds.
30 seconds. He would actually be going, what was that? Okay, but this is what I'm just saying. Like, I don't know. All these things can be very cute and quirky, like I said, but now is not the time. I'm over it. I don't care about that. Do you guys realize that for you guys who are saying these gingers are black, they're saying that they have black fatigue? And they aren't talking about the gingers. I'm not talking about the gingers.
Did you see that woman say she had black fatigue?
I saw everybody say that. They're all saying that.
Okay, so what is that? Is that a thing? I saw one woman say it. I didn't know it was a thing.
Yeah, they're tired of you ghetto monkey apes. They're so tired of you guys. I'm saying you guys, like I'm not one of them. But they say we're tired of us. They say they're extremely tired of us, and they have fatigue just from dealing with us and all of our things, and they're so tired. And it's just exhausting to have to constantly deal with ghetto-ness and ratchetness and all of these crazy things. And so I wonder if the gingers are included in that fatigue.
What? This never makes sense. Like, what does that even mean?
It's just another way to be racist. And for real, imagine how tired we are. Imagine
Literally.
how tired we are. I can't, and I saw somebody say I just don't think that people really understand how racist people are. Like, that they come up with something new to be racist every single day, and then they normalize it. Like, what the fuck is black fatigue? And
that has to be fake.
No, it's not. Like, okay. I'm being so serious. I'm seeing so many, whatever you've seen of gingers, I've seen of black fatigue. And I see so many things, and then I'm in comment section, and then they're like somebody said, I don't even remember what the video was, but then a black woman commented and said I think they said, I don't know what they said, but they said, why am I seeing this or something like that. And then they said, and then somebody else commented back to them and was like, because of black fatigue, we're tired of y'all. You don't have much time left. What do you mean I don't have much time left? They said, we're getting really tired of you guys. They said, start counting down the clock because you don't have much time left. Like, I just don't know. I just don't know what that means. I just think this is crazy. And then that one guy, what's his name? He's black and gay and he's Republican. His name's like Tom Smith. Do you know who I'm talking about?
I think I have his face. I don't know his name, but I think I have his face. Like,
and he's like not even light skinned. He's darker than me and you, which is context because of what the things that he says. And he's, what is his name? That's gonna bother me. I don't know what his name is. I almost have to look it up. But death to anybody who's like that. Dead ass. I hope that man dies. I'm so sorry. I hate for that one because. People that are like that are just so like, because sadly we do have to be a monolith, and anything that one black person says is just going to be, but it only works if you're with what the white person is saying. If we say like, please stop the racism, please, they'll say no, like, what are you talking about? It doesn't exist. But if you say, black people are just so nasty and disgusting in this, they say, yes, yes, see, he's black, he even said it himself.
And it's just like the tokenism is so much, and it's like, how can you not see that you're literally being paraded around as a token? And then like they just love it when you say that. But the moment like you don't have any actual real play or power in that community, like as a black gay man saying any of that stuff, as long as you agree with them, they will tolerate you. The moment you don't, you're no longer a part of it. You're gone. You're out, buddy. And it's like, okay, what did you expect? Like, what do you think? This is just so crazy. Like, and I hate pick-me's. I hate them. Like, I really just hate pick-me's. You are not going to ever be chosen. They're never going to pick you for real. Like, you want to be a pick-me, they're never going to pick you. And I literally went onto my TikTok, and I had seen a video of somebody stitching. I don't know what your For You page is, but I just want everyone to know, Malik's For You page has always been outrageous.
It has.
It's always been... it's actually not for him. It's for some Republican white man. That's what the For You page should be called.
And I don't even know what that, like, I never will know what that means. My For You page is literally the CI plotting to get me killed by myself. Is what's happening.
Malik he's like interacting. He'll comment. He'll like,
Sorry, I'm mad, and I can't stand for it.
Spams it.
I won't like it. I will be commenting. I'll be going, what the fuck you guys talking about? And then I guess they think that means that I love it or something. I don't know, but that's just crazy.
I scroll immediately, but the ones that I do see, it's always a stitch of somebody who agrees with me, which is how we get in echo chambers, but whatever, I digress. Anyways, I was watching this video, and it was literally the first video was like, she was like, something about, you know what's really funny? She started talking about black fatigue, and I was like, wow, she ate that, because I thought she was saying like being black, like
it's just tiring.
So much tiring, like you get fatigued. That's what we need to reclaim it. We should go in there and reclaim it and say that black
reclaim anything.
We have to reclaim everything and say that black fatigue is actually being tired of y'all fucking bullshit. That's what black fatigue is.
No, I have white exhaustion. Let's make white exhaustion. I have white exhaustion because I'm sick of, like, I'm actually sick, and I can't.
Really funny. But anyways, I didn't know it was a thing. I didn't know this was happening. But apparently the white girls have started black fatigue. But when I heard her, I didn't know what that could have possibly meant. So like, where does she live? What do you mean you have black fatigue? As in, like, what does that mean? Like, you see black people and you're like tired of black people, like like what?
It means that they're just tired of them, like, they're tired of this. And I'm sorry, I found the guy. Now I need to play what he said, the black guy. And then all these white people in the comments are going like, yes, we love it. And just imagine being black and like fostering that kind of hate against your race is crazy. Oh wait,
it's really blurry, but I think I know what you're talking about.
Of black people, but it's two specific types of black people that everyone is tired of. Number one, everybody is tired of loud, ghetto, and ratchet, and violent, and mean, and angry all the time. Everybody is tired of them. Nobody wants to deal with them. Even other black people do not want to deal with these people. You know when you see them in public, you know when they're going to give you attitude at the CVS. Everybody knows it, and they want to avoid it. The second group of black people that everybody is tired of is this sort of like fake black bougie intelligentsia who kind of like walks around telling everybody how they're supposed to think or speak or act when it comes to anything black. These are the most privileged black people in the world. These people have built enormous platforms and have so much money, and yet they are still perpetual victims all the time. And all they ever do is lecture white people about how to talk to or about black people, and then they lecture other black people if they don't talk or think or speak in ways in which they approve. Black fatigue is real. Everybody is so tired of both of these
your black ass.
No, they love his black ass. They love his black ass.
I know.
Which category do you think
me.
we fall into? The second one? I did say black
What'd you say?
people were, I said, which category do you think we fall into? The second one? I did say black people were allowed last week.
Yeah, you were actually a proponent of number one.
Wow.
Just last week.
And I said, I'm tired.
I would say we are the second one. We tell people how to think about black people, how to talk to black people, which I think is the right way to do it. But can you read the first couple of comments? I wanted to see. Let's respond to them.
Okay. The first comment says, by Tim Hutchinson. He said, all my black friends have had enough. They work hard, support their family, and take care of their own business, and have told me it's why they moved away from them. And I don't know what that means.
Wait, what? Wait. So the black fatigue. So wait. This is so stupid. Why is it called black fatigue when there are black people who don't fit in that category? So now you're just overgeneralizing the whole race. I could literally do the same thing with white people and say we're tired of white racist people and every white person is racist and I hate every single white person because of it. You'd be looking stupid as a white person, or those same people who are saying black fatigue, they would be upset by that, right? So why would you do the same thing for black people? You literally are contradicting yourself, saying that there are black people who moved away from these other black people who are loud and ghetto and whatever, when they're also black people too. So why is it called black fatigue?
Well, they're one of the good ones. They don't even see. I don't even think that they see. I think that they see one of the good ones as less than black. Like, I don't even think they see them as people. They see them as this thing that they can use to further a message of racism. Like, I don't even know what they see them as, because obviously they see black people as loud, ghetto, ratchet, racist, mean, angry, violent, whatever. And then they see like those people as these, just like, this is the person that gives me a pass to say those things. And I think that's crazy. And Deanna D said, I have black and liberal fatigue. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah, we really don't give a fuck. I'm so sorry. We don't. I'm not even gonna say too much, but we don't. I just think this is also tiring. This is also tiring. And honestly, what I was gonna say before is that Gingers could have been black if Kamala Harris won, but she didn't.
Yeah, they could have been black. Honestly, they could have been black if Kamala Harris won, but now it's just not the time. I don't want to hear about tomfoolery about gingers being black. I don't care, because a ginger will get in the presidency faster than Kamala will.
Of course.
So no, you're not black.
They said we love him. We need a leprechaun for president. Is what they'll say.
And I hate that guy, though. I just want to restate that I hate that guy, and he's always like, and it's so embarrassing, but it's also so sad, because I want to know what happens to make you end up on that. Like, I don't know, like what happens, because we've grown up in predominantly white areas. To me, see, this is the thing. I think honestly, like, 'cause I was talking about this with my mom, like a long time ago, but I was saying, like, cause she grew up in like predominantly black areas, and I was saying, I feel like I honestly have more, cause she was saying, I don't remember what she was saying, but I was saying, like, I think I have more of a understanding of racism than you do, because I've been around all these things way more. And I don't get, and I feel like being around white people and things like that, and you're really truly a minority, and not just like in an echo chamber of you guys are all like the same people and you know the white people are bad, really is like, damn, this is crazy. Like, I feel like you have the understanding of actually seeing how they act and operate and talk about you and talk about you guys and see you, and I don't know, like, so I don't know how that happens.
I think it's a fundamentally different experience that obviously not. This is not our experience being black was not the majority black experience, right? Because most black people are around most people are around their own race in the country, statistically, is what I'm saying, right? Like, for example, my mom grew up and she didn't even like interact with anybody who wasn't black until she was like 21, 22 is what she told me. She said she didn't have any, like, all of her police officers, she said, all of her teachers, all that were all black. Like, everybody of authority was black, right? Until she got older. And so her perspective on the world and being black and what that means is just different than mine is, because we grew up being black around white people, right? And like not even having the security of being black and being like, oh, I grew up around black people, and you know, and then like being not, or I'm trying to say like being we had to find comfortability in ourselves being black because there weren't other people to have community with. It was kind of like we were always different. We were always, you know, othered because we were being black. And so I think that experience is different. And then growing up, there are two sides you fall on. You either try to get closer to white people and assimilate and, you know, end up hating black people yourself, or you go on the flip side and you're like, okay, something's up here, which is I feel like what we did. And the other black guy probably grew up around white people, and he said, "Well, yes, I hate all ghetto black people too." You know what I'm saying? Like,
but that's really sad.
It is really sad
because I don't know, like, I don't know, like, I don't know, because I just feel like I'm trying to think, because if we're just being very candid and vulnerable, I feel like probably in some time in my youth, I probably was teetering on a side of like, I guess I'll let this slide. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like the more as you
say and do or whatever, or what do you mean?
Like, I don't know. I feel like you know what I'm saying? Like, where like there's things that you don't think there's anything that happened in your youth that was crazy that you would be like, what the actual fuck now?
Oh, of course.
Well, that's what I mean. But it's almost like we didn't know.
Right. That's what I'm saying too, is that it's not just that's what I was kind of trying to say. It's not just like we knew the things that were happening were crazy at the time. We had to also like experience it and understand, okay, that probably happened to me because I was black, or that probably happened to me because they, you know, were either maybe not trying to be racist, or maybe they just were taught by their family, or this or that. Like, and it's more than just the N-word being said or whatever, right? It's just we had to go through these things to find out that this is not okay, this is not normal. And I don't know about you, but it took me to college to really hone in and figure out what was going on.
Yes, in these past couple years, we were never like, I was never, oh my God, also sorry, really quick pause on this. I feel like people, especially in the last video, because we were high and I was having a lot of dry mouth. I feel like I constantly have a dry mouth, and I saw somebody say, oh my God, I just was so distracted. Please, Malik, take a drink of water. I wanted to drink myself to quench your thirst. Everybody, leave me alone. I have a historically dry mouth. It takes me 2 beta blockers, 3 SSRIs, 4 multivitamins to get on this podcast and be an entertainment for y'all. And those things come with the side effect of having a dry mouth. So I'm sorry. And we're also high. So that's why.
I was actually coughing for a second, but I was trying to like move my mic out the way.
I know they said it was silent. I was going.
That's really funny.
But anyways, but see, the thing is, I was never, but I don't think that ever in my entire life, I might have let something slide, but I never was on the side of like, I'm going to now hate other black people. But I knew some black people that would do like things that I would be like, this is weird. Like, why are we in a weird competition? Like, there was this one guy that I was like friends with, like, I'm not gonna say who, but he said, but you don't even know. I don't think you even know who he is. He didn't go to our school.
I don't remember anybody from our school.
Oh, okay. That's rude, I think. But he like we had an interaction, and we were like at an Olive Garden, and he said something like, I don't know, he was doing something he was just being very weird and odd to me, and I didn't know how to explain it. And then I was like, we're like the only 2 black people that are here right now. Like, I literally said this, and I was like, we're the only 2 black people here right now. Why are you being very odd and weird? Like, why are you trying to like do a weird competition? He's like, you know what, you're right. And I was like, I am. Because what are we doing? Like, I feel like I never ever was on the thing of like,
so this guy was black.
He was almost trying to make fun of me in front of and get laughs for other people, but like make fun of me in a black way. like call me dark or something like that. And like it was very weird, and I was like, this is so weird.
Oh.
And this was in like this was probably in like junior or sophomore year of high school. And I was like, this is so odd. But I just don't think that I ever was on the side of like maybe I would be like, "Ugh, these people are saying this, but in this I don't really understand how truly bad this is at this point in time." But I was never on the
Right.
side where I'm going to now be like, all these other black people are this, and I'm going to turn my back on my own race.
Right, right.
Like I never experienced that part of things, which I think is interesting to get to that far, because I feel like if you're just a person that's just like, it's different. There's levels, because he's doing a thing where he's now creating a platform to be this. Yes. He even made like a video and was like, this is on behalf of the black community. We apologize for like Austin Metcalf or whatever. And I was like, girl, what are you doing? Like, and I just don't know what's happening. Like, I just think that that's so sad to have that type of thing. And yeah, I think that I became fully realized probably in college, but definitely near the end of high school, I was definitely waking shit up. Do you remember when that girl said and you know what girl, but I'm not, and I know what girl, but I'm not gonna say, but she said that she just could never ever in her life.
Yes, I know what you're gonna say.
She said she could never ever in her life find anybody that's not white. Just
Attractive.
even the slightest bit attractive.
And I think that those are the fundamental experiences that you don't have growing up around other black people, which I'm not saying that there's no other black people who say like maybe that they're more into white women or Latino women or whatever it is, right? And othering, or you understand what I'm saying, right? My point is that us growing up black, we had to see not only on TV white people being represented as the standard of beauty. We had to see the people in our school only being white and only being want to be with other white people. And then you hear people saying, I could never find anybody who's not white attractive. You're like, damn. Like, and it's so many things compiled onto each other. And I think it's a very unique experience being black, or even just a minority in general, around white people and not having a sense of community with anybody else, because they will make you feel othered. White people will make sure you know that you are not white if you are in a space with white people, especially when you're talking about elementary, middle, and high school, when, you know, you're having people who don't know, that have no decorum at all. And you know, I'm not saying that every single white person was crazy and racist. I'm just saying that like our experiences were definitely very crazy, and half of them I forgot, because I try to forget them. I probably have regressance or whatever they call it. But I think it was definitely a very unique experience being black. And we had probably like, in our grade, how many people were black? I can't even think about it. I don't know. I don't want to say a wrong number. There were like, it was probably like 5% of our grade. Is a percentage good?
I'm
Maybe
trying
less.
to think in my head, but I'm thinking their names and I don't want to say their names out loud.
Obviously, yeah. We had a small amount. I only know
It was probably like about 12.
That's crazy. 12 kids is crazy.
Yeah. Okay, so do you think that if we weren't friends, would we have fallen into a crazy thing?
What do you mean?
Well, obviously you had nobody else to unpack blackness with, and really queerness with, other than me.
Right. Yeah, I do think so. I think it took time. It took us like going through these experiences and still keeping in contact with each other. Because like I said, my main things happened post high school, and we were kind of experiencing or talking about the same things. And I think that we had that kind of deconstruction of like, what the hell happened to us, or what the hell's going on is what we said. Going to PWIs and then like having these conversations. And if you don't know what PWI is, most of you do. It's a predominantly white institution. I just know that some people won't know what that is. Anyways, but yeah, going to a PWI, we definitely were like, I don't know. We had to figure out something is up. Yeah. Really quickly found out something is going on. And I really think for me, to be honest, which is sad, but I think that what happened in 2020 with the George Floyd situation, I feel like when we started having these conversations openly online more frequently, that's when I also was like, oh, things that happened in high school, like this wasn't okay, that wasn't okay, that was happening to me, this was happening to you, blah 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 blah, and I was juxtaposing that to what was happening to me in college too.
Okay,
But I'm radicalized.
do you think I'm very radicalized?
Radicalized, mama.
But do you think that what was I gonna say? Do you think what was I gonna say? George Floyd College. Okay, do you remember when we had that conversation? And this was in high school, and it was going, "Isn't it lovely all alone?" Do
Stop,
you
you always
think that I don't remember if we knew that this was a black thing at the time. I don't remember.
I don't think that we knew. I didn't know. I don't think so.
That's really sad.
Maybe it was like the beginnings.
That's gonna make me cry. That's really sad. And I'm just thinking about all the other, and then I don't know. I just think there's so many problems and so many crazy things, because then I think, like, I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know. You guys, if you are black and you grew up in a predominantly white area, please get in touch with your blackness and figure it out. And also, yeah, we do want to hear your stories too. Please in the email. And guys, if you are black and you grew up in a predominantly black area, don't think that the people who are black and grew up in a predominantly white area are any less black than you are.
Oh my, don't even open up another can of worms. We don't want to get into it.
Please, they are your brothers, they are your sisters. Like, do not, if you see somebody in danger, you need to help them. And you need to get them out of that thing. Because they need the help and they probably don't know what's going on, and you're going to be in charge of creating another Rob Smith or not. I remember one time I was at the PWI and I saw this girl, and there was a country bar that was so crazy, and I saw her waiting in line for it. She was with all her white friends, and the country was playing outside, and I said, "Girl, you need help." I said, "What are we doing? Let's connect on social." She said, "I do not need help from you, Negro." She said, "I do not need help from you." I said, "Oh my God." I said, "Please, not this country." She was singing along to whatever was playing. She's dancing on her tractor and she's shaking. And I was like, "Oh my God." And her hair was fried. Her hair was fried too.
Oh my God, the fried hair is a rite of passage. The fried hair is a rite of passage. But like, honestly, I don't think I ever had fried hair. I think that my hair is definitely crazy.
Me too. My hair looks crazy now. And I'm in a black area.
Oh, mine looks crazy now too, but I only because I haven't gotten a retwist. But like, I think that all of this is a rite of passage. Like, give a little bit of grace to your fellow black counterparts at these predominantly white institutions that have crispy edges and crispy roots. Okay, and they have a little bit of a crazy mindset. They don't know what they're doing, mama. Now, I feel like I don't know. I feel like I was never like that. Like, I
don't think I was too. That's why I'm saying that I think that there's weird levels, and I want to know what in our lives would have pushed us into that level. Because I don't think I was ever like that.
I don't know. I don't know.
Either.
I do think I definitely did when I was younger want to, or I was in a phase of like trying to assimilate. I was on the assimilation side of it. Not like I don't like black people or I think black people ghetto or anything like that. But honestly, people weren't really talking about that like when we were in school. I feel like we weren't talking about like race like that, right? Occasionally we were, but it wasn't really like that. I had to understand that I was being othered because I was black like later on. But my point is that I felt like I was trying to assimilate into whiteness where I was wearing colored contacts, like, and I was trying to.
I forgot about that. I'm sorry. That was crazy. But see, I knew that was crazy.
Okay, well, you didn't say anything.
Yes, I did. I did say something.
At the time?
Yes, I said something at the time when you were wearing a 3D goggle.
In this class, and you remember saying that in this hallway.
I actually do specifically remember the day, the weather, the time. And this was like when we had to wait outside before school. And you were wearing a 3D glass, and you were wearing color contacts. And I said, "What are you doing?" I said, "What are you doing?" And at the time, like,
I was
just gonna say at the time, because me and Darius' friendship is really not linear. It goes in like close friends to not close friends, but not because of any like bad reason.
Right.
But then like close friends again. And at the time, we weren't like close friends, and this was like in middle school. So I wasn't seeing him in the color context every day, but then I did see him, and I said, "What's going on?"
What'd you say? I don't remember.
I don't remember, but I remember it was in that line, and it was outside, and I almost feel like it was a spirit day, and you were wearing like a suspender.
A suspender? I probably was wearing a suspender.
I feel like you were wearing a suspender, and I was like, "What is literally happening?"
So here's the thing, my dad, when he was probably like, I don't know what age, high school, like late high school. So I was in middle school at the time, but my dad, when he was in high school, he had contacts, but he needed contacts though, right? And he had hazel eyes, and I think we had a discussion. Like I saw a picture or something with him with
you and your dad, or
eyes.
you and me.
Sorry, no, me and my dad, me and my dad. And so, and for whatever reason, that encouraged me to want to get contacts. But the thing is I didn't need contacts at all. I wanted the colored eyes. So I think it was a mix with me having a conversation with my dad, but also wanting to have colored eyes because I felt like, oh, my eyes are dark. Sorry, my mom is screaming and she just does not care when I'm filming ever. But I gotta be silent when she's doing it. Anyways, I know, because the mic's pretty good at not picking it up, but she'd be screaming. She said, "Ah!" Anyways, but yeah, so I saw that and I wanted to get contacts. That being said, though, it was, now looking back, obviously I didn't think about this at the time. Now I'm realizing that half of it was wanting to have colored eyes. And I remember one day I took them out. Like one day, I think I wore them for, I don't know how long I wore them for, like a year or two. And one day I took them out. And like I didn't have them, like they like dried up or something. So I went to school like this, and the same girl said she would never ever be attracted to a black person ever, or a non-white person, which is crazy to say, non-white person. She said, "Oh my God," and she like clutched her pearls. She didn't know who I was. She said, "Who are you?" She said, "Why are your eyes black?" She said, "I've never seen you like this before." And I was like, why? I was just confused because like nobody gave me that response like when I first put the contacts in. But when I took them out, I was all of a sudden like the craziest looking person they had ever seen. And I was like,
really sad.
It was really sad. And I was thinking, wow, like I don't know. It was so weird. And now I'm just thinking, like, why did I even? I mean, at least they weren't blue or anything like that. They at least were a shade of brown. That can happen to black people, but
it rarely does. Maybe if you have a mixed mama.
It's brown. Okay, it wasn't gray.
It was purple. Pretty light brown. It was pretty light brown.
Some people put in blue eyes in their.
They do. You could have been blue. That would have been crazy. Been look like a vampire.
I could have been Tiny. T.I. and Tiny when she went to the Dominican Republic to get them eyes blue, mama.
Okay.
I could have.
But like the thing is though, like I don't know because okay. And then okay, so did your dad, where did he grow up? Did he grow up
yeah, so he went to, what was weird about him is that I think one of his schooling was all black. Like, I don't know if it was elementary or middle school, but then his parents moved during middle school, and his high school, he said, was very equally mixed. It was like 25% white, 25% Hispanic, 25% black, Asian. Like, there was like a lot of people in his school he said were all mixed. I'm sure it was still mostly white probably, but he had a lot of minorities too. But he grew up in Rockford, Illinois. I don't know which school he went to, but yeah. So his experience was definitely different than my mom's was for sure.
Okay, but still, mostly it was predominantly black in the beginning.
Yes, when he was younger, one of his schools, I can't remember if it was middle or elementary. One of his schools was predominantly black, or it could have been the other way around. He did have a predominantly black school, and then he moved, and then it became more mixed.
Okay. Well, I was just gonna say, because also for the people out there with kids, like, and you guys want to move on up to your little predominantly white areas, make sure your kids, make sure you know what's going on with your kids, because I feel like I was having the crazy experience ever. And my parents were definitely, I think, updating me on a lot of things where I knew of things. I definitely knew of things, but I don't think that they knew how to navigate this specific experience, so they didn't know to tell me the things that I need to watch out for.
Right.
And I feel like that was the issue. So I feel like if you are black and you grew up in a predominantly black thing, and that's all you knew, but now you have kids and you guys are in a more mixed area where they have a lot of white things, like, you need to let them know, because like I think about a lot of things often where I'm just like, this was so crazy. Like, and I think about how crazy people's parents were to me, how crazy like full grown adults were to a little like black child just because he was black. Like, do you remember that girl, and that girl said that girl said not the same girl, actually, a different girl,
Okay.
and said that her dad was like hit once slightly by a black person, and they said, Malik, you just can't actually come into this house because of that, like, because my dad just doesn't like black people and he doesn't like fuck with them, so sorry, but like, yeah. And then I said, oh,
And you're like, wow. And you're like, what?
yeah. Yeah, and I'm
Like,
like,
what does
and I'm
that mean?
literally like 11 and going like, I don't really understand what any of that means and why her dad has a grudge on me because 20 years ago he was hit by a black man and I'm a kid.
Right.
And then so many other things of just like I would be 10 miles away from home and somebody's dad would come and pick
That's where they dropped you
everybody. Huh?
I said that you'd be 10 miles away from home, and that's where they dropped you off to.
Yes, and that's where they dropped me off from. I actually never got in the car. And every other person would get in the car, and I go, what was going on? And they go, sorry, he said there's not really room, and they don't have the time, and they have a tight schedule.
Right.
Do you guys know how crazy that is? And this is like 10. This is like, and I'm walking home in the dark as a kid. And this is all because of just my race and something I couldn't control. And I feel like I had a lot of experience that made me catch on more quicker, I think. That I was like, this is something off and something weird, but I just couldn't understand what was off and what was weird about it.
And you don't have the tools, and you're not equipped with any of the knowledge because you're 10, 11, 12 years old going through it, and you're like, what is happening? And you don't find out until way later on. But what you were saying before about our parents like not being equipped to like have these conversations, because it's like, at least for my parents, my mom didn't have these experiences that I had, right? Or that we had, because she grew up in a black area with black people. She never understood what could possibly happen to me being black and growing up in a predominantly white area, in a predominantly white school. And so to me, now that I'm older, I understand that my parents, they probably were trying to, or at least my mom was trying to, they were trying to remove me maybe from some situations that they grew up in, right? My mom grew up on the south side of Chicago, and she talks about it all the time. Not that she didn't like it, but she understood what she went through, and she didn't want me to experience those things, right? And so she busted her butt. Her and my dad did that so that they could move me and my brother to an area they thought was going to be better for us. And while I think there was trade-offs, there was, there were a lot of good things, but there were a lot of things that went with that. And I didn't have that sense of community. And we moved away from all of our family too. We're a state away now, right? We obviously visited them from time to time, but there was no immediate like cousins down the street. And so it was just me, my brother, my mom, and my dad in a white area, predominantly white schools, all of the above, right? And so, like I said, there was a give and take, and they didn't have the tools equipped to be able to even explain to me what was going to happen to me in my life because they didn't experience it themselves. So if you are doing a similar thing and moving your children to a predominantly white institution, a predominantly white area, and you've never experienced that before, just know that you need to figure out how you can navigate that with your child, because there are going to be things that you don't even know are coming, but they're coming, mama.
Literally. And on the flip side, if you are white and in a predominantly white area and you know it is, and you see little black children where you don't see any of them, and maybe your son or your daughter is friends with them, or maybe you're seeing that there's just one black child and he's being left out of things or doing this like that, like, I don't know, make sure your kids aren't crazy. Make sure you aren't raising crazy kids. Because people don't know if they're raising crazy kids or not, and I don't want you guys to immediately think, well, my kids would never do anything like that, because it turns out they probably would. I'm so sorry. And they do, and they have, and they probably are still doing it. So like, everybody needs to be on watch of and be sensitive that they aren't raising crazy monsters, because I honestly think a lot of, like, I was actually having a conversation with Greta the other day where I was like, actually this is a long time ago, but I was saying like, oftentimes I think it's like sometimes it's a lot of these liberal parents that will, like, these liberal white parents that will be thinking, oh, well, I voted for Obama and I did this and I did that, and then they're like, their son Jimmy will be saying the N-word in the car during rap, and they
stop.
They say stop. They say, please don't do that. That's not funny. and that's all the reprimanding that they do. And
Right.
they think that that's okay. Like, no, like these people are crazy and they're causing other people hell. They're gonna probably become, and especially, I'm so sorry to say, but especially if your son, if you have a son and he's straight and he's white and he's that, like,
The
he's going to
likelihood
grow up to be a monster, probably,
of actually
unless you intervene. Like, everybody needs to, everybody, all you guys, every race in the comments, Asian, Pacific Islander, black, white, Hispanic, everybody, keep an eye on your kids and make sure they aren't monsters. Don't raise a monster.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's especially men.
And let me explain why. As I think that, like, in this day and age, again, we're gonna have to navigate, even though we did grow up with it basically, but like from birth now, we have the internet, right? And so we're gonna have to navigate having children who have access to every corner of the internet from day one, right? Or I guess it just depends on when they get access to the internet. But the point is that, like, with these online spaces, and this is another thing I wanted to talk about, is that straight white men, and not even just straight white men, I think that any masculine space is very right wing, which whatever, but it's very right wing, but also it can lean into racism is just like the norm. And let me explain what's been going on with me. So I have been trying to, be cute these past couple weeks, honing my fitness, look at like videos, like gym videos, things like that, right? And so my algorithm on both YouTube and TikTok has been, sometimes I'll just get things that I know are geared towards incel men who are like trying to just like go to the gym and get strong, right? And so like it's just a space that I haven't really been in, right? And so now my For You page is being geared towards a Republican white man like yours is. And sometimes I'll see somebody, talking about their, every time I see a black person, this is really scary, guys, by the way. Every time I see a black person on TikTok doing anything in the gym, right? And this a heavily male-centered comment section, they will talk about how if the black person is strong in like, physically strong in the TikTok, they will talk about like, oh, how much are they? Oh, he would have sold for a lot back then. Like, that is the comedy.
Okay.
Yeah, so like that is the space. And I mean, it'll have 20, 30, if the video is like viral or if it has a lot.
It'll be liked by creator.
Yeah, it will be liked by creator. And I'm going, this is so weird. It's like, why are you... And it's not, and I feel like that's more of a male-centered like space. It's like racism is just like, this is just funny. I can talk about how this man it would be my slave, or should be my slave now in today's time. I can say, oh, this one would sell for, like, do you know how, like, it is literally so common to see if any strong black man in the comments, if you see any white men in the comment section, if it's mostly, they'll talk about how they would be slaves in the back, or how they should be sold for this or X amount or whatever. And I'm saying that these people's kids, they don't know their kids are in those spaces. Though your 14-year-old, 15-year-old who's trying to be a gym jock so he can get that girl that he likes or whatever, he's looking at these comments and thinking it's okay to say those things and say those jokes or say the N-word or do this or do that, especially if he has nobody around to tell him, hey, that's not okay. Just because this has 20,000 likes doesn't mean you should say it. And sorry, I just wanted to go on that tangent.
Sorry,
but it's
this
like,
whole time I'm thinking about how we're being the second black person of the fatigue.
What?
How we're the second group of fatigue.
Stop. Well, sorry, this is really crazy stuff.
Really,
I mean, like,
crazy.
what are we saying that's wrong though? Like
nothing. Nothing. But they're tired of it. Apparently.
That's really.
Actually, I've heard of black fatigue in our comment section. They've been saying, they said, oh, great. Another episode about race. So apparently everybody is tired.
I think that what happened, okay, so what happened after November, obviously we know what happened in November, really jarred me to my core, okay? And actually 99% of it is disgusting and terrible in the way that it changed me, but there is 1% of me that it just finds it so, like, this is just so embarrassing. Like, this is so embarrassing. Like, one day we woke up and they said, okay. They said, we really don't give a fuck anymore. They said, we don't care. Because I was literally watching a video and there was this girl, I don't know if you saw this, but she was on Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan's crazy. But, like, for some reason, I was agreeing with him in this video. And
I think I saw what you're talking about.
And she was like, I say the N-word all the time. And he said, are you really coming on national television to say that? She said, yes, I really don't care.
Yeah.
And I think that that is so crazy to say, like, in 2025, like, wow, like, damn, this is embarrassing now. Like, a couple years ago, she would be ostracized, but like, maybe like 8 years ago, she'd be ostracized for saying something like that. But now she can just go in there and say, girl, I say the N-word to and from black people.
And it's
I really
fine.
don't
Like,
care.
nothing changes. Like, there's nothing. I don't know. Everything is just very normalized, and I don't know what.
Where do we go from here?
I don't know, but we need to mobilize. Everything's
do.
normalized, and we need to mobilize.
We need to and I always think about, like, what were you gonna say? You were gonna say something?
I was just gonna say this: the fact of, like, people need to stop giving everybody. We need to all be on the same page that everything is crazy, and for just maybe 6 months, only focus on ourselves just a little bit. I don't know. I'm sorry, just for 6 months, because stop trying to add gingers or what? Gingers are
people
black people. Like, what are we doing? Like, and meanwhile, before this, these gingers were probably saying the N-word, and they were probably doing this, and they were probably doing that, and like.
That's something else I want to say quickly about the gingers. I'm sorry. I was looking at the comment section of these videos, and the gingers were going, no, the black people were going, I've always thought that gingers were the most beautiful people I've ever seen in my life. I love ginger people. I love them, blah, blah, blah. And then the ginger people will go, I always thought black people were the most beautiful people. I'm going, girl, you did not think that.
They're
You're
lying.
lying. And that's just really funny because it's like, girl, okay, well, you never said that. Since when? Because if I go back to the page, you wasn't saying that a couple months ago. You wasn't saying none of that.
And I don't know. I just think this is all very crazy and very exhausting. And I'm exhausted. I'm very exhausted. I don't know what you guys are exhausted about, but it must not be the same thing that I'm exhausted about if we're putting black in front of it. If we had to put a race in front of it.
We need to figure this out. And by we, I mean, come to find out, everybody. I don't know what's going on or where this is coming from that I'm about to say, but it's just something filled my spirit and I have to say it. I don't know what's going to happen in the next few years, okay? Things are not the same anymore. They're not like they used to be. I don't know what the future of America looks like. I don't know what the future of the world looks like. Because if you think this is a microcosm and that this is only happening in the United States, there is a right-wing push that is happening across the globe, okay? They all got fed up. Come to find out, Sally Sue in the UK is also saying the N-word, and she don't even know what it means, okay? I mean, of course she does, but, or not the same way. But the point is that the reason why I'm saying that is because where is the end goal of this? I can promise you for literally the next 18 generations, it is always going to be us against them. And not even us against them as in like liberal, conservative, whatever. It's just always going to be a group of people who are against another group of people trying to do X, Y, and Z. And I just don't see the light at the end of the tunnel anymore. I feel like we were really close, and then now it feels like really far. And I'm sure we're going to get back to, the pendulum is going to swing and this and that or whatever. But like, where do we go?
I'm tired of the pendulum swinging.
I wanted to stay where we wanted to stay, but I guess it doesn't happen for anybody.
But why?
So
I just don't understand, because now we're at the point where you're cutting off your nose to spite your face. Like, you not wanting something is like you voting conservative, really, unless you're in like the top percent of wealth, you're spiting yourself. Regardless, even all the other minorities, obviously they spited themselves. I don't know. I really couldn't pay. Actually, I could pay you, and I could pay myself to know what the answer is. And it's anti-blackness. But I think I don't know what is going to have to happen with the higher ups, but I think that racism needs to be one of the first things that we figure out. And honestly, I think that we need to rebuild back a POC solidarity, because right now I found out nobody has my back, and now I'm over it.
But we're not the problem, though. That's the issue.
I know.
Rooftops, and so it's like, how do you get the other? But you can't, because they're not in our position, so therefore they're always going to strive for the proximity to whiteness, and so we can't have POC solidarity because they don't want to be with the blacks in the first place. Come to find out.
Well, I need you guys to. Well, okay, but everybody who's not black, I need you guys to do something and figure it out, please, because I want to be friends.
Now one of them would have any of the privileges they have without black people in this country. Not a single one of them. They would never, ever, ever be able to have their little proximity to whiteness in the United States of America without the plight of black people. Without black people, there is no Hispanic people Asian people in the way that they exist now in the United States. There are no civil rights laws in the way they exist right now without black people in the country. Like, my point is that we have always strived for solidarity amongst POC, but I think that we're not the problems. They just don't want to join us, and we saw that in November.
But they only want to join us if they can say the N-word, if they can kind of lean down on us just a little bit sometimes. And I know that there's this, and I don't. First, I want to preface that this isn't like a. Well, it sounds like a generalization, and maybe it is. But if you're watching this and you don't agree with that, I'm not talking to you specifically.
Right, of course.
But I just am saying, like, I just feel like, because I don't know, have you been seeing like the whole? There's been actually just discourse after discourse after discourse after discourse. But did you see like black people being like, Hispanics need to stop saying the N-word, that whole thing? Like the person.
I didn't know. I mean, obviously I've seen that just in general.
But a person made a video, like, you know, the one gorilla versus 100 men.
Yes, I've seen that. Yeah.
Somebody was like, 100 Hispanics versus not saying the N-word.
Oh, I saw that. I saw that video.
Yeah. And then the top comment said the N-word. It said, "Shut up." Yeah. I did, and it had hundreds of thousands of likes. So then every black person said, "What is going on?" Because then everybody was like, "Okay, well, you would think that they would be like, oh well, like no, like sorry, like we didn't say that, or we don't do that." No, they're just like, "No, we are saying that. We are going to say that." Like, I just think that that's so crazy. And this is why I can't work. I can't do it. I can't have it. I can't be on anybody's side unless they're on mine.
This is why I don't know what the future looks like. If we can't have even the people who are non-white try to educate themselves and realize that without the black plight, there would be none of us would be here, actually. None of us would have the rights that we have at all without the black plight. If we can't get other POCs to join us in solidarity, we're at a loss. We're only 13%, whatever it is. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know. Sorry. But I think that the only thing that is going to have to happen, I'm being serious. I think that what needs to happen is the black community has to be quiet for just a little while, okay? And not say anything about anything. Let them be racist. Let them do whatever they do. We can't say anything. And then the other minorities will start to see that the shit that they voted for, that this happened, is fucking them all the way up. And then they'll go, well, but in the sense that, like, well, why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to us? Why is this happening to this? Why is this happening to that? And let them experience a world of hurt for just a little while, just a little sliver while we're quiet. And then we'll go, didn't that sting? Didn't that sting just a little bit? Because we felt the sting too. And like, maybe we can do something about it if we like work together. I don't know, because I think that they just see us as these big, huge. The whole thing that people see black people as is victims. They paint themselves as victims. All they do is cry and moan and bitch and cry and scream and moan and whine. And that the only way for them to realize that they are also victims is for I don't know actually what needs to happen, but they need to realize that they're victims too.
But my thing is, I think through psychology, and obviously, well, now we could just tell, but everybody wants to be right all the time. And I think that is largely what I feel personally. Obviously, you know, at watching this, that we are just very much not conservative, we're liberal, okay? And that being said, I think that the whole derangement that is happening around the conservative party and why they don't see the bad things that Donald Trump does is because that is their candidate. And I think that, I know I'm bringing this into Donald Trump, but I promise I'll round it up in a second. The point is that is their candidate, and they always will want to be right? And so, like, even when something's going wrong, it's like biting your tongue and saying, I don't want to be wrong about this. I don't want to be wrong about that. And so when we have these minorities who still voted conservative against their own interests, I don't know how long it's going to take for them to be like, hey, maybe I was wrong. Because it takes a lot. in human nature to recognize that you were wrong and admit to it. It takes so much out of people, especially when we're talking about politics in a country and we're so group-minded and the algorithms making us focus on what we want to see and all of this stuff or whatever. So really, that's what I'm saying. That's why I started this conversation about like, where do we go next and what happens next? I don't ever see other minorities ever experiencing something and being like, oh, black people were right. I don't see it happening.
I think it comes after this. I think this had to be an extreme or very rude awakening that for some reason I have to deal with too. And you do as well. And I think that it isn't, but what has been fair. I think that everyone, and I'm so sorry when I say that I hope that everybody who voted for Trump, whether you weren't informed, whether you even regret it already now, I hope you feel every single thing that he does. I hope you feel every single. I hope your family feels it. I hope your loved ones, your friends. I hope you lose your job. I hope all of that happens, because that's, for some reason, sadly, is the only way that everybody is going to understand to never make this mistake again. Because everybody was saying this before the election. We were saying this, but all of these things would happen before the election. Everyone, and you guys didn't listen.
So the thing is that if you voted for Donald Trump or you are conservative, I hope that you get everything that you voted for.
Everything.
Whatever happens to you, and all of us subsequently, sadly. But the point is that we have to recognize in the future that whether or not you were ill-informed or whatever, you cannot, I repeat a third time, you cannot vote on a presidential election or any other election for that matter and not know what you are voting on, or not know the logistics, or not listen to the candidates, or not do your research, or not understand what's going on. You cannot do that. You cannot. And because what happens is you end up selling your soul. And all of a sudden you're going, what was that? When you have lost your job, when you are wondering why this has been shut off, this program has been shut off that you use, that you didn't even know that you use, you didn't even know taxpayer dollars pay for it. There are so many things that are happening. And what's also happening is that things are happening so fast. I want you to think about why on day one of Donald Trump's presidency, he did 100 things. The reason why is because if you move so fast that people don't know what's going on, and they can't look back and say, when did this happen? When did that happen? Because it was happening so fast. There are so many things that have gone on that we can't even begin to unpack during this presidency that people probably haven't even noticed yet. And I think that is what's really scary, is because also, again, our algorithms are only showing us what we want to see, and we can only focus on one thing at a time as a group of people. Literally, the TikTok is only going to show you this happened, but then tomorrow it's going to be something else, and the next day is going to be something else, and you're going to forget what happened last week, the week before. You're going to forget things that never made it onto your For You page because you never saw it. Those things are what we need to be worried about. Always do your research before you vote, guys. And we're black in a white area. Not right now, but
not right now, but we were. But I'm thankfully not, but still, I just hope that I don't know, I hope your world burns. Sorry.
Callie, Sim, I said Sim. Callie, Kim, I don't know what's another white name? Emily,
Callie, Kim, and Sim have already left.
They're gone.
Because this is a little much.
I talked about their son who said the N-word, they left.
Listen, I'm only saying this for all of our world to be better, and I know that because I know that you guys are good people. I know that if you're watching this, you're good. You have to have some of the same morals that we have, and have to be good, I hope. And I'm not saying this to try to give you black fatigue and to make you feel
fatigued. Black fatigue now.
They do have black fatigue now. I'm not trying to give you black fatigue, but I'm just trying to say, and I appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate you opening your perspective, because Kimberly Giblets, she made that one review where she said she learned so Kimberly Giblets says she learned so much from us, and that's so nice to hear that you're actually taking the time to listen and broaden your perspective.
And we appreciate it.
We really do. And that's all that I ask is people just to listen a little and take something from this, because. And even the black people, because I know that it's in the beginning of our things that some black people are probably judging us for some of the things that we said about living in a predominantly white neighborhood. I'm sure some people are going to be like, why was he in contact? Why did he hang out with those people that are doing this? And I was 12 and he was 2, and we were looking crazy.
You have to understand coming into it as we're children. I mean, you have to think about the whole situation.
Children.
born into this situation. I'm born into literally like I only ever had white people around me. Only besides my family, right? It wasn't like I had a black neighborhood, a black, this, a black that. I didn't see black people ever. And so when I was growing up, of course I'm thinking, oh, this is interesting. No one around me looks like me, and they're othering me for this X, Y, and Z reason. Why? And you have that feeling of, as a kid, wanting to be accepted by your friends and things like that, right? So like you have to go into it thinking that, not just thinking I'm some 24-year-old. Now, obviously, our situations would be different if we were in predominantly white areas, because we know how to handle ourselves, we understand our blackness, all of those things. But when you're young and you're growing up not in that, you have to navigate through it. So I really don't care what
What
Denisha
name?
has
Pick
to
a
say.
name.
I don't care. I had to think of a black name because I was talking.
I
about
knew
Kimmy
what you were
Kimberly.
doing, and I want to know what name we were gonna pick. Because it would have been problematic. But
Denisha's fine.
But I don't know. I just think that this is very crazy. I think all this is crazy, and I think that I don't know. Black people stop saying that gingers are black people. Hispanic people stop saying the N-word. White people stop. And that's it. That's
Okay,
it.
stop.
Yeah, just stop. And that's it. Like, I don't know. And then maybe we can fix something. And Asians too, stop trying to be the model minority. Cause I saw it and he said, yeah, I wanted affirmative action to be gone. Cause it wasn't doing anything for me.
Yeah.
Mama, yes it was. And you fell for the propaganda. Damn.
And did you hear that they I don't know which school it was, but the literal next fall they had the Asian acceptance rate dropped.
Yeah, all of them did. Because it wasn't even providing for black people in the way that they think it was. Affirmative action and things like that was the most profitable for white women.
Yeah, and that's all of it.
And everybody just falls for propaganda. Like, please stop falling for. That's actually really the main thing. Stop falling for propaganda. Everybody stop falling for propaganda. Stop.
You have media literacy in this country.
We need didn't we take these classes I don't know. And I was supposed to talk about my problem, and we talked about the problem. And I can't.
Is it fast or no?
No. It could be fast, but it was a conversation that I wanted to bring up.
Well, we can talk about it next time if you want to. We can have we can end it on a light note and talk about our excitement for the next time you'll see us.
Yes, the next time you see us, we will have been our cowboy carrier virginity will be gone. It'll be lost.
Stop. I won't be blinded anymore about what happened. We have no idea at all.
Yeah.
We haven't seen Malik's been seen 25% of it.
I have not. I've seen maybe 5% of things, and they're the most useless things ever.
We haven't seen literally anything. I haven't even seen Beyonce's face except for on this shirt. In
I've seen
more
her
than
face.
a week. Because I blocked that girl. I blocked that little girl on all platforms. I literally have said not interested to anything that says Beyonce remotely. If there's a sound playing and it's Beyonce singing, I literally say not interested. Because I just want to be surprised for the thing. And I know some people think it's not that serious. I've had to deal with people being like, "Oh, there is a Beyonce." So I always feel like the
But
need
sometimes
to say,
I do think I was just thinking about artists the other day because I was watching this one girl and she said that time that I saw Dominic fight and I screamed when he took off his shirt and then my boyfriend got mad at me or whatever, and I was just watching the video and it was him performing and I was thinking in my head, this sounds crazy, but then I was thinking she's loving this. And I wondered, it's so interesting how, people think, because if I went to the Eras tour, I'd be like, oh, okay, this is fun. But, people are like, this is life. And I feel like that's how I'm going to be with Cowboy Carter. But it's just so interesting, the different perspectives. Is the gag universal? Is what I want to know.
The thing is, the gag is not universal. But
is it ever universal for anything?
It should not be for anybody but Beyonce.
Okay.
Sorry, and everyone's gonna say you're biased. I get it. But I'm tired of being gaslit. Because you're not gonna name me another singular person at all who's doing what Beyonce's doing from her time now and still batting with the new girls at all, not giving a live show like she is, not giving live vocals like she is. So no, the gag should be universal. It should be. I'm gagging over Lady Gaga.
Yeah, but is that gag universal? I don't think Lady Gaga's gag is universal.
No, but it should be. You should be able to respect that somebody has the talent of like. You may not have to. I'm not saying you have to like Beyonce songs. I'm talking about the gag should be like as in respect for the artist.
Well, I saw a girl and she said, "Oh my God, the feeling when you finally get over like hating Beyonce for no reason, and I just realized I just wanted to cancel Black Woman." I thought that's
why would she admit that? That's crazy.
That is crazy, but that's universal. That's universal.
That is universal,
and that's why I think that's very interesting.
To shout out Cardi B, what was the reason? Because what is the reason?
It really is that because she doesn't really do anything other than like she really doesn't do anything other than make music.
It doesn't speak.
Literally,
you barely hear that woman's voice, and everybody has something to say all the time. Every time she comes out, she's trying her best to make the work immaculate. You may not like it, and that's okay. But like, I don't. That's all you have to say is like, oh, it's not for me. Like that's okay. I'm not saying you have to like it, but
it's weird. But see, I don't think I've ever really been like. I think the only time I've ever been like so like adamant against something that's happening has probably been with Taylor Swift, but only because that her thing came with disrespect to Beyonce.
Right.
And I wouldn't if Taylor Swift was just Taylor Swift and it had nothing. There was never a conversation about like Beyonce. There was never a disrespect. I wouldn't care. And I don't care about any other artist being big or having things or. I don't know, like it's just weird to me. But I think that actually we shouldn't be doing this because they're gonna get black fatigue because we're gonna be doing this in a minute, and I think we should stop.
Are we gonna have this conversation?
Probably.
I can't.
Because you guys are gonna be hearing about Cowboy Carter next week.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, so let's just keep it cute this episode because you guys know I'm just letting you know that it's going to be a Cowboy Carter heavy episode. If you don't want to hear about it, you might as well skip next week's episode. I'm so sorry because we will be gagged and gagettes. We'll be all of it, all of the above.
What if we hate the show?
I thought about that. No, I'm just kidding. There's no way. I just don't think there's any way we hate the show.
Hate would be crazy.
I don't know. Stop doing that. There's no way we hate it. I don't know what to expect though because I don't know. Like we didn't know what to expect with Renaissance, and we were just gagged down to the floor. Yeah. And now we know what Renaissance was. We've been through the era. We understand. So how is she going to top this? Did she do it? Has she done it? I see
a lot of people saying that Cowboy Carter over Renaissance.
I've heard that too.
But is this recency bias?
I don't know. I'm going to start crying.
Okay, you guys, let's wrap it up here. Last thing I want to say is if you have any problem with us talking about this, talking about being black, talking about any of this, I just want you to know that people don't let us know. Just leave, I guess, because we're justified. Like, do you guys realize that women like that when people are raising almost $1 million because they're calling a child the N-word? So yes. I'm going to have a lot to say about race and ethics and morality and the race relations we have in America as a black man. So that's all I have to say.
And I know that some of you guys are probably seeing this kind of stuff on your For You page and you feel like you don't have anybody to talk to about it or no one else is thinking about it. I just don't know how we still go. Like, how am I still going to the Kroger every 2 days and trying to get some chicken? And I'm like, wow, like this world is literally so crazy. Like,
you still gooning and race wars are going on?
Sometimes you really shock me, and I just don't know. Whatever, that's gonna go over a lot of people's heads. Please, let's move on immediately. Anyways, yes. So, how are those things happening? And we're still just going by our day to day. Like this is just so crazy. That lady raised $1 million from conservative right wing white people saying that she should be allowed to call a black child the N-word and get away with this scot free.
Yeah. So until you guys raise $1 million for me to shut the hell up, I'm not going to actually.
Literally raise $1 million for Jokes on Us to be canceled, and we will take it.
Literally and run. I promise.
We'll take it and run. But until then, sayonara.
Bye, everyone.
What language is sayonara?
Sayonara. Isn't that in a song?
I don't know. Anyways, if you're from sayonara, let us know.
Dubai, Shanghai.
No.
Oh. Let's bring back our Rex. What's your rec? Or was that you? Did you do that last week?
I don't know. I don't have a rec. Blame my
I want you
ex.
guys to watch Forever on Netflix. Black retelling of Judy Blume's classic book Forever. Very nice, very lovely. They hired the same person who did Insecure soundtrack. And
Stop.
it's a nice, cute watch. It makes me feel lonely and sad though. So just letting you know.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess he had the rec because my rec next week will be going to see the Cowboy Carter tour.
Yeah. What if it's not? What if it's to do anything but see it?
Can you literally just stop? Can you stop? We are literally going to see her in T-minus 5 days. I can't do the math right now. And I'm unbelievably excited. Yeah, that's it. We got our outfits together. I just waiting for my bolo tie. It's probably going to be here tomorrow.
Did you get your pants?
Yeah, I did. I haven't showed you anything. I guess I'll wait until we see each other. But I have everything now.
You have your boots?
Actually, I don't.
Oh,
I have my
okay.
boots. I didn't get new boots. I kept the black ones because it was just gonna be too much. But I got some iron-on patches. I think that I'm gonna put on my pants. But I don't know if that's gonna work. So I'll have to see in a second when they come. But yeah, we got everything else. You have everything, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, wow. In 34 seconds, it went by so fast because I feel like literally just yesterday she was starting.
That is really crazy. Well, she was basically.
I know, and now she's gonna be in Chicago on Thursday. And literally the day after they see this. So whatever.
Yeah, that is crazy.
All right.
Okay. Okay. Everybody like, comment, subscribe, leave a review.
Here's emails. Email episode.
Oh yeah, and send an email. We're gonna have an email episode soon, so send an email, please, if you want to be heard. Okay. Have a good day.
Oh my god, I was gonna say something else.
Okay, now you make me sound like you, because I've tried to end the thing 10 times.
No, I know, but it was a housekeeping thing. I can't remember what it was. Whatever. Anyways, we'll see you guys next time. Peace out.
Bye.